XIlyana here. Another day in Los Angeles. Nothing to see here. I'm a veteran with PTSD, military sexual trauma. I'm an environmentalist. I'm a human rights activist, LGBTQIA icon. But don't go outside because I have PTSD. So another day to stay inside, talk on YouTube, have a really cool outfit on. Um, I'm a lipstick on. I'm feeling unloved but attractive. I just can't go outside because I live in the wrong neighborhood and they wouldn't accept. Los Angeles thinks it's woke. It's not woke. It's woke in certain neighborhoods, and then the rest of it is you might as well just live in a red state. Because right now I live in a village where they had pride events here. They have I guess, kind of an LGBTQ community center, sort of, in the neighborhood. At the same exact time, I've been gay bashed twice in this neighborhood. So I hate it here. I absolutely hate it here. And if I had my disability benefits, I would move to somewhere else. Or maybe I would stay, but I could make some differences to how I engage with people. And like, I really want to start a recycling program and a city cleanup program. But I have PTSD from military sexual trauma, so I'm not going to associate with any girls or women. Sorry, let me be respectful. I'm not going to associate with anyone because of that and because of how LA has treated me. So there goes that idea. You want to make a difference, you want to do things in your life, and then America gets involved, and then all your plans go aside. And I came back on camera because it's just upsetting. It's frustrating to hear someone like Clint is in pain or is in any way uncomfortable. I don't like the idea of veterans being anything less than comfortable. True, to some of them, that discomfort is that affirmation of life that they've always wanted. Some people thrive on torturing themselves or being tortured. The United States Air Force had the goal to call me a masochist because I try and help my fellow airmen keep them safe, even if that means that I get yelled at instead of them. No, that's just being a decent person. And I disagree that being a decent person is something that you should frown upon in America. I think that being a decent person is a virtue. It's a thing to be proud of. So, yeah, I'm absolutely proud of being a decent person, even though I am so fucking angry right now, and I have really weird hair, but I still feel beautiful in a way. Unloved, but beautiful. I just wish I didn't live here like this. I gave California every chance, every opportunity to get to know me, to see a better side of me, because right now they're just getting a bitter person. I'm bitter because I was assaulted in my town where I live by a community that did nothing. So, yeah, I'm upset at that. And I'm also upset at the fact that that attack, both the attacks, are just such targeted bullshit. And all of them happen because of LA Metro. LA Metro is actually very, very funny because they have this new position available for people to apply to be a safety committee lead for the LA Metro. Isn't that kind of what I was doing every single time I reported how terrible LA Metro is and why it doesn't need to be that way? Part of the job description was you identify, you review claims, and you also suggest policies that they could implement to make things safer. Well, we could start with stop using the LAPD and the Transit Police Authority, whatever they're called, for the MTA to make tourists feel safe. Because that's what they do here in Los Angeles. They have all of the LAPD and the Metro, I guess, security, whatever, concentrated in the DTLA, downtown LA. I think that's what they call it. I am not tethered to this city whatsoever. I'm somewhere else. I just cannot live in this city. But either way, they have all of the security in one little area because they assume, oh, the tourists have to go through downtown LA and therefore that's where we need to concentrate it. It's like, no, 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 no. You need to concentrate it on the major lines and you need to concentrate it in areas where you know there are issues. Am I that weird person who says, I'm really disappointed at people of color? Because I am. I'm really disappointed at people of color. Because when I moved into this neighborhood, which is predominantly of color, I was groped every single chance they could get. Every single chance these people could get, they want to grope me. Or they want to grope my animal, which is even worse. Because it's the service animal. Like, why would you bother someone on duty? It's weird. And I'm supposed to say, oh, well, culturally, that's just their way. That's just their way. And it's just like, no, no, no. These are some fucking cunty people. And I'm gonna call them that. I'm not a person to back down from a racist attitude. And yeah, I'm on team XIlyana. I'm not on team Latino. I try and protect and help my people because I'm Brazilian, so I kind of feel some sort of kinship with them because they look like me. They do look like me. And, we're related in a way, but they just treat the LGBTQIA so poorly in this neighborhood that it just makes me think, you know what? If all you see when you see me is the transgender part, all you see is that, then I'm not one of you to you. You're not going to give me that dignity of just being myself. And you're rejecting me from your community. And I'm okay with that because I reject you from my life. But if that's the case, then why does the VA not give me my disability benefits so I can move to a place where this is normal? This is almost boring because it's just you do the lipstick, but you don't beat the rest of the face for the gold. I mean, literally, I have no rouge, I have no eyeshadow on, I have no eyeliner. I mean, my hair just hasn't been combed since Prince was alive. Clearly, I am not fashion conscious or trying to be beautiful because what would be the point? I literally don't go outside because I have been attacked twice by this community. Hello, human help. Am I the first one to enter the chat and see any other comments? Where is everyone? If I drove them away, fine, I drove them away. I applaud someone like Clint for his channel being monetized and everything. I just need to fucking vent. I just need to fucking vent because this city, this state has disrespected me. So yeah, I will take every opportunity to say fuck you, Los Angeles, fuck you, California, and fuck you, America, for sexually abusing me. That's what I want to do with my YouTube account. I don't want to fucking sing or dance or entertain anybody. I'm just going to fucking talk about that. You might be close to being able to monetize the channel. I probably am. I did the math and I could probably monetize the channel within 10 days or less. But you know what? I would rather use my time on camera to fucking shove a mirror up to America. The same America that wouldn't let me leave to go to fucking Scotland because these people are fucking cock blocking me from having Scottish cock. I will never forgive that. I will never forgive that. I mean, it's bad enough you sexually abused me, but you stopped me from enjoying beautiful Scottish penis? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? You land me in this fucking Latin neighborhood where there is no fucking white penis, and then the only white penis that I fucking get are fucking like zombies walking around here. Like, what the fuck was that on Saturday? I mean, I'm just gonna fucking call you out, LA. Number one, I go outside because my doggy needs a walk. And I go outside, and there's yet again another fucking female blocking my entrance. Just squatting on top of the fucking platform where, it's the doorway. What the fuck is this? This is a fucking Latino thing. It's not a white thing. It really isn't. Tell me a fucking white apartment complex that would have people just, we live here, but we'll just hang out on the steps. It's like, fuck that. Fuck that. White people have fucking lobbies with chairs. This place was so fucking ratchet, so fucking fucked up that they said, you know what? We can't even have chairs in the lobby. Wow. You think that's good for a fucking veteran? You think that's good for a fucking veteran? No, I don't think so. I really don't. This place is for fucking trash. And yes, I live a very trashy life. I really do. I am not taking good care of myself. I could take so much better care for myself if I didn't have to live next to people like this. And I'm not just talking about the fucking Latino thing, because, like I said, if Gloria Estefan wanted to fucking hang out, I'm totally cool with that. I'm not cool hanging out with my fucking neighbors who just bring floozies into the building who get magically lost, who come up to my apartment. It's just like, if he didn't give you the dick you need, guess what? You're not getting it from me. So Fuck off, you little fucking skank. Fuck off. This is what I deal with. I don't mind that my neighbor is the biggest fucking hoe on the block. I don't mind that. That man can fucking sling a dick, even with the terrible haircuts that he has. Like, oh my God, I don't know what these women fucking see in him. But even so, those are your bitches. Those are your bitches. They have nothing to do with me, okay? I've talked to the fucking manager and said, look, I know that man's a fucking hoe. If he has hoes parading around, guess what? Parade them to his bedroom and then parade them to the fucking door. They don't need to fuck. It's like watching feral cats. This is the experience that I have. I'm a veteran trying to recover from being sexually abused by the United States Air Force. Instead of being in a fucking log cabin in Connecticut where I fucking belong, I made the miscalculation, very, very large miscalculation of coming to California because I said, you know what? I thought that beachy vibe would be the vibe that I'm looking for of, we all do drugs here and we all on marijuana and yeah, like you've been abused, like I deal with abuse. We all smoke and we all do the drugs, the marijuana, and you know, we don't have time to bother you because we're all on drugs. Or we're trying to be a pop star or some sort of actor, actress. So it's like we don't have time for that. But that's not what I got here. What I got here was you fuckers are so fucking broken, so lonely, and you see someone who is clearly broken, and I'm not lonely. So you try to talk to me, and I'm just like, I don't have the energy. And you keep trying, and you keep trying, and you keep trying, and it's just this is what I can give. I talk to you, and then you type on a little screen. That is what you get. That is what you get because I try to be nice about things. I tried. But then this city sexually assaulted me in Long Beach. And then also has been groping me on buses. Just random people groping me, groping my service animal, almost, just injuring me at every chance they could get. And don't think for a second that this is just regular people. No, this is the fucking cult. This is the fucking cult of LA. And, every time I go outside, I have to think, is anything I do going to show up in a fucking movie? And I'm glad because, look, Carl Urban needs work outside of The Boys. So, congratulations to your Mortal Kombat film. I will support it. I will definitely support it because, I fancied you since you were Cupid on Xena the Warrior Princess. So, yeah, if something good came out of this, hallelujah. But I'm not really feeling the hallelujah cam, because I live in a city where I cannot go outside. What the fuck is that? Hello, Riley, I'm sorry. Do you know the other live gay live streamer Coop? You know, just because I suck some dick does not mean that there is a secret network of cocksuckers on cam that all know each other. But I will have to look that up at some point. Send me a link. I always like looking up new podcasters. My goodness, my chat is certainly alive and thriving. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about this. I don't know. Like, I try my hardest to be a good, decent person, and America is doing everything in its power to say, we would prefer you to be the villain. And it's just, I might play a villain, but why do I have to be such a hated person? Why? Is it because I'm fabulous? Because I'm gonna be fabulous no matter what. I'm gonna be weird as often as possible. That's just what I do. You know, I'm weird. Human help. Uh, I had to take, I guess, a week off because it's just so traumatic to talk to the VA. It's so traumatic to talk to the VA because the VA does everything in its power to, I don't even know what vowel that was. Oh, fuck me. I do not know how to speak English. I am half Brit, but I do not know how to speak English. I fail at every turn to say things correctly. Either way, the VA takes every opportunity to rob veterans of their disability benefits. And I say rob because they don't understand time is a benefit. Time is a benefit. So every time they deny you, they're robbing almost a year of your life. Almost a year of your life where you say, you know what? I just needed the money for the plane ticket, money to maybe buy some land, I can build a house. Because after LA, fuck city for the rest of my life. If you have more than 100 people, I don't want to go anywhere fucking near you people ever again, ever again in the US. I might have to try Edinburgh because I like libraries, and I really, really want to fucking see if I can get a library card when I'm abroad. Is that weird? Is I don't think it is. I mean, I'm I'm a nerd. I like to read. I gave up on television mostly because I kept punching it because my PTSD was triggered. But I don't know. I've been reading lately, and I kind of think that if I went abroad, I mean, obviously, I want to see a castle. Everybody wants to see a castle. But I think I just want to go to a library, go to a museum, or sit in like a little cafe and just drink tea and just say to myself, there's a world where there's a stillness. There's a world where you can just be. That's what I want. That's what I want. I live in Scotland. Hi, Riley. Hi. I love your country. Absolutely love your country. I love everything about it. I love verdant green. I really do. I love the freedom of your country to just enjoy nature. Not every inch of it is covered in paved roads. You just let a forest be a forest and a valley be a valley. And I don't know, I'm sick and tired of living in cities where I don't think people understand what's going on here. I wear my blue lipstick. I wear my blue lipstick as a protest against carbon monoxide poisoning here in the States, the cities. And I say I do it for my own, Latino is Hispanic community. But really, this affects everyone, including Caucasians. The fact that Caucasian people aren't up in arms about the carbon monoxide poisoning really shows that people are ignorant. People are fucking ignorant. I don't know what happened to America, but like, have they no sense at all? Where do you think car exhaust goes? Because cars have been on the planet for, I want to say, maybe at least 100 years or more. 100 years or more. Where does that go? Yeah, some of it gets put into the ocean, some of it goes into your rivers, some of it goes into plants, but most of it just goes into you. Clint keeps talking about, I'm almost at my goal weight. And I say, how much of your weight is actually tar and asphalt and hydrocarbons, sulfur? How much of that is in your lungs? Well, he's a smoker, so he doesn't have much lungs. I'm not a smoker, but I don't think that matters when you live in a city like Los Angeles. The air is bad here. The air is very bad here. And the CDC, what the fuck do you people do? I am glad that President Trump is dismantling every single one of these agencies because for a long time they have sat on their fucking hands and knees doing nothing while America suffers. As much as America is a fucking cunt of a fucking country for what it's done to me, I just disagree that using chemical warfare against your own people is something that America should be doing. And that's what it is. When you say pollution, I'm going to correct you. Pollution is chemical warfare against the poor. I didn't get to say it in my last podcast, but I get to say it now. I don't think people understand what wealth really is. I don't think people understand that. People think that wealth is having the biggest car, the having a limo, going to every store that you could imagine, flying around the world. That's not wealth. Wealth is the ability to have everything come to you. And for some reason, that wit just doesn't turn for some people. It just doesn't. They're still of the mindset of, I will pay less to go out into the world to do anything. You pay less. So you say you pay less in the currency of your area, but you pay more on your health. Every time you go outside in these terrible cities filled with chemical warfare used against you, you're ruining your health. You're ruining your health not just because of the pollution, which is chemical warfare, but also the roads itself. People paved over hills. People paved over forests. So you have less trees and less reason to move your body. I said to Clint that he needs to go speak to a doctor. That's only half right. He needs to actually go to Norway, which is why I hope that people support his channel so that this man can go see his own people, because that's the only thing that will help him. Because right now he's living his life as an American as opposed to a Viking. He wants to believe he's a Viking, but he doesn't live like a Viking should. Why? Because he spent most of his life as an American. Charlotte Rose, welcome. Welcome to the channel. Haven't heard from you in a bit. Yeah, I found out like Apple did some weird update where it said, "Oh, we don't want to record you all the time." I'm like, could you maybe put that in the update that you did that? Because otherwise it's just creepy if I have to go in a backdoor and figure out how to fix your programming there, Apple. What did you do with the 3 days where we didn't see you? Mostly cried. Mostly just cried, and I slept more because I was just shell shocked. I was just shell shocked because speaking to the VA is so painful. It's so painful because you think of yourself as an adult, you think of yourself as a human being, but when you speak to the VA, you're just begging for money, and they think of it as that. So they treat you like a child. Everything that the examiner was saying to me was like, "Oh, you're such a," what was that word that he used? Professional. You're so professional with how you're handling this, because most veterans, they would, flip out and curse me out, and I can do that too, but I do that every day. I say fuck you to the VA every day on my channel. I say fuck you to America every day on my channel. Saying it to a person who is deciding my benefits, how is that productive? Because you're paid to be an asshole to me. You are paid to drag me through the memory of being sexually abused by the United States Air Force. That is what you're paid for. So when I finish that conversation, I can curse you out, but I curse you out and I go back to my zero of a life. You get cursed out and you complain to your coworkers and they laugh and they giggle because every Friday you've got a big fat paycheck while veterans starve, while veterans sleep on the ground, while veterans don't have enough food to eat. They don't have enough of the right food to eat. They don't have a good house. over their head. They don't have a good neighborhood. They don't even have a good fucking country to be proud of anymore. But these VA examiners, they've got money. So who the fuck cares if they get fucking cursed out? That's heartbreaking. I'm sorry to hear that. Do you have a therapist that can support you? I try to have a mental health medical team here in California, but California and mental health just do not go together because California is of the mindset of, you can just get over this, right? You can totally get over this. Look, we're just gonna sexually assault you on the bus. You can get over that. Come on. It's LA. Go have some weed. Dude, there's like a weed on the corner. You can get over being sexually assaulted on the bus and then no one saying anything, but even worse, looking at you strangely as you scream at the top of your lungs. But you live in California, so you can get over that. No, I don't have that attitude. I have the attitude of fuck you forever. You do something like that to me, it's fuck you forever. Praying for you. Friends, you can pray for me, but I need signatures for my petition. Change.org/Ian belongs on Mars. It's little, but it's a step in the right direction. America can't keep denying veterans their benefits. It's immoral and it should be illegal. Native Indie, love Nate. It really does seem like you're in a situation where you're stuck. What's the path to healing that's in your control? The path to healing for me had to be turning off television and media altogether and signing out of most social media. I still use YouTube, but yeah, I had to sign out of Reddit. I had to sign out of Facebook. I had to sign out of Instagram, all of that, because all of it was either something that triggered my PTSD or this person is living a fabulous life and we want you to be jealous of it. I don't want to be jealous of famous people, and also I don't want to be one of those people who has to be famous by taking a picture of themselves every single day, 10 times a day. Like that just sounds exhausting. I'd rather just hire a photographer. They act like it's their pocket. Like to see you sing again. I am so close to doing a sing live again. I've had so many setbacks lately. I had the two women invading my apartment, which I still can't get over. And then I've had yet again another woman ringing my doorbell, trying to get entry into my apartment. And I have PTSD from being sexually abused by a woman. I was sexually assaulted in Long Beach by a woman. No, just no. So if you still want to hear me sing, I have music, not the songs that people want to hear, and it's not me singing at my best because I usually sing best when I'm singing a cover. But I don't know. I might need another day or two to purge the negativity that California is inflicting upon me out of my system. So, what is the path to healing that's in my control? What's in my control is to just withdraw, just withdraw and boycott America, unfortunately. I still support Marvel, I still support DC. I just cannot support going to the movies or paying for a subscription to see your content when the entire country has been putting down veterans and transgender people. And I'm of both categories and I don't have a place there. Now, you're a company, you're multinational companies. I don't expect you to care really because you say, how many transgender people show up for our movies to begin with? I get it. I get it. But they don't do any giant power moves of, hey, if a transgender person is arrested for using the bathroom in that state, well, guess what? Something like Fantastic Four doesn't play in that state. You have to go out the state. You have to go to a different state because of that. There are no consequences. There are no consequences to make people think, gee, we have to make a change. So I don't expect a multinational company to do something like that, to have that as a business model. Because you lose a little money that way, but maybe you'd gain some respect. Maybe you'd gain some respect from someone like me who says, I understand. That's why I have a new song out, What You Don't Know, which is for my transgender community. And it has a really good beat too. But I'm just very disappointed in my transgender community because they don't fight this the right way. They make a protest, they make lovely posters, but they don't say, hey, this is more than just that one bar or that one restaurant that told you no, you can't use a bathroom. It's a larger issue than that. You need to pull out your money from the entire industry, from the entire industry. You can't just say, oh, well, that one bar was bigoted and, that's it. It's no, they all are. They all are, except the ones that are of your own people. I'm a transgender person. I'm proud to say I own my own restaurant. I love being a chef. I love cooking my meals. I love trying new recipes when I can afford it, but I can barely do so. So I can thank the VA for that. I can't afford to really run my restaurant the way that I see fit. Yay. Because on the rare occasion where actually do feel hunger and not just the aversion to food because I lack the will to live after being sexually abused and sexually assaulted, or gay bashed because they shoved me into this neighborhood. Sorry, I haven't been reading some of these comments. TJ Durden, if you get over 1,000 subscribers, you can monetize your channel, but you can't have any community strikes that are active. You can get money that way. TJ Durden, I'm well aware. I'm like hugely aware that YouTube would be the Captain Save-A-Ho to someone like me. Someone like me who cannot work a job, cannot associate with people, but loves to hear the sound of their own voice in a strange way. I don't have that kind of energy to be that kind of person. I've been sexually abused by the United States government, and I'm well aware that the abuse never ended. They just found different people to contribute to it. How are you supposed to feel when your entire country sexually abused you? I bet you don't feel good. I don't feel good. I feel gross all the time. I spend most of my time just scrubbing my naked body because I never feel clean here. I just feel violated all the time. That doesn't really make a really cool YouTube personality. Just makes me a loser veteran. And nobody cares about veterans. So that's that. Hi Donovan. Sorry to take a break, but that's what life is gonna be as a YouTube streamer. For my own mental health, I cannot be consistent. I cannot be a consistent streamer because I have way too many PTSD triggers that just pull me out of ever having a good, decent day. A good, decent day where I could say, you know what, I'd like to sing. I'd like to sing. I like singing. I'm really good at it sometimes. Sometimes, not all the time. But because they keep triggering my PTSD, I say, you know what, I just don't feel like it. And I wish that wasn't the case. So I try and do whatever I can. I'm trying, I'm really trying for my few fans who say, I remember hearing you sing. I'm trying, I really am. But this town is not conducive to singing. It really isn't. If I move, perhaps I could sing again. Real talk, trans shouldn't be allowed in the bathroom. That doesn't go with the bird gender. Donovan, real talk. It's a place to pull down your panties, pull out your huge tranny cock, and have a piss. And sometimes shit. Sometimes you do that. And sometimes you pull your panties up, you flush, you wash your hands, and then you put your makeup back on because your whole face is like, well, you're just shitting your brains out. It's not a holy sight. People in America are so stupid. People in America are so stupid. You let the media and your fear of giant granny penis frighten you into hating going to the bathroom next to someone like that. How stupid are you? Like, it's a bodily function. What do you do in the bathroom? Do you go to piss and shit? Okay, well, that transgender person is going to piss and shit. You don't want anyone to piss and shit next to you? Guess what? Neither does that transgender person. You think transgender people are like, you know what? I really want to take a giant shit next to a kindergartner. They don't think that way. But you, on the other hand, you and every single one of your community who say, I don't want transgender people in the bathroom, I've got news for you. Transgender people are going to use bathrooms. You can't really stop that. Legally, you cannot stop that. And transgender people are going to keep fighting for that. Also, if you're really afraid, you should be. Because maybe this issue is taking you in a direction that I even agree with. I agree that you should be protecting your children. I agree that you should be more of a supervisor of them at critical times. Because in America, they are robbing you of your children. Sometimes they're robbing you of the right to have your children, but they're robbing you of your children. What do you think is going on in America when people go berserk and they come into your child's classroom and shoot them in the face? You're afraid of a transgender person using a bathroom, but you're not afraid of that? Under the careful watch of your American government, who receive reports on this, who have agents standing by at every step of the way. But pulling down panties and pulling out a giant transgender penis, that frightens you, and not the fact that the FBI, the CIA, and Homeland Security have clear sequence of events that lead up to a school shooting and they still do nothing. Recheck your priorities there. But I love you. Always welcome in the channel. The amount of rapes and sexual assaults and that occurred from being in different bathrooms. I don't know what to tell you. That has very little to do with transgender people. If a person's a criminal, a person's a criminal. That doesn't have anything to do with their gender identity. And if anything, that should just remind you that anyone can be a criminal. Oh my God, you people are stupid. You people are fucking stupid. I have to call you out on that. I'm sorry, Donovan, because I really do like you. But anyone your child comes into contact with should be highly scrutinized. You shouldn't trust your family with your own kid. You shouldn't trust yourself with your own kid. You shouldn't trust the coach of your kids. You shouldn't trust the teachers of your kids. You shouldn't trust your neighbors. You know who you should trust? You should trust your kids. You should teach your kids that if something goes on, you speak up. You yell, or you teach your kids to fight. You people are stupid. All this time you're like, oh, tiny giant penis. Oh my God. When you should be saying, that's not the only threat in this scenario. It's everything. Everything is a threat. You're not a real parent. You're just not. I have to just be that person who says, cisgender people do not appreciate what they have. They don't. They see themselves as biologically able to have kids, and they think that's enough. They don't think that they have to be responsible for it. They don't think they have to care for it. They don't even think they have to love it. And when you question them on that, they fold. They fold. Because they have nothing. Absolutely nothing. It does seem like you're struggling to get past your disappointment. Trying to remind this guy about Jesus, but having a difficult time. So if you repent from your sins, Jesus has a way for all people. I will never repent for my sins. I enjoy cock in the ass, I enjoy cock in the mouth, and shoving it up hairy bare ass. That's me. That is not a sin, that is pleasure. Please, sin with me. Come and sin with me. I want to go to Scotland because there is a Scottish man out there who is horny for a giant transgender penis in lovely panties and lingerie. And there's just no one beautiful enough there until I arrive as a Brazilian model. And show them the beauty of pleasure. But no, stuck in LA with these people when I could be giving lap dances to Scottish men. Unbelievable. God. Well, you want to call me that in the bedroom? You know I did it right. You know I did it right. If you say God in the bedroom, you can say it as you come on my face. I don't have tits, but you can still suck on them if you want. My nipples are sensitive. Because these California bitches be gnawing on them. But that is just the way things are in America, really. Go watch a Mortal Kombat 2 and not think that there's a larger agenda going on in the world. Go on. I don't mind. Either way, I think that's a good point to remind people that my name is XIlyana. I am an environmentalist, a human rights activist, an LGBTQIA icon. I make music and I don't know, one petition at a time, I'm going to make America a better place. Why? Because you people are stupid and I think you need better leadership. And if you disagree, then you should be a leader and then you should have better leadership. There you go. But thank you everyone for coming by. It's a short podcast, but thank you for saying hello. I hope to see you all again. I'll try and do one tomorrow. Heaven forbid, LA decide to do yet another one of their PTSD triggering events. Human help. I would very much like to be an astronaut and an engineer. I'm an energy consultant. Change.org/Scotland New Grid. Change.org/Clear LA Smog. I'm an engineer. I am trained to be an engineer. I am an engineer. That is what I'm qualified for. I just cannot deal with people. So I need money to hire a staff as a buffer because I will not talk to women ever again. Mm-mm, mm-mm, no, no. So I have to hire someone who's going to have to talk to the women for me and then type it into a phone or a computer to send it to me as an email. That's the level of PTSD I have right now, thanks to California. There was a time when my PTSD didn't affect me quite as much, where if the VA had given me my disability benefits, I would have immediately gone into the medical profession where I belong. But it's been what, 7 years? 7 years of denials of my PTSD, denials of my PTSD disability benefits. So, denial of even tuition money so I can go to school. So, there is that. There is absolutely that. Oh, and I guess the job of a president or a governor or a mayor. I'm qualified for that because apparently I have more civic pride than most people. I have a big heart. And America took that heart and they threw it on the floor.